2018 has been one of the biggest years in Monster Jam history, and 2019 is going to be even bigger. But before we get to that, we want to recap some of the best moves, moments, and highlights from an insane year that we got to share with you Monster Jam fans around the world at more venues and in more countries than ever before. So get ready for all of the unexpected, unscripted, unforgettable moments of 2018 as our season recap starts right now. Welcome to the 2018 Monster Jam Highlight Show on FS1. I am Ryan Lacoste.
And I'm Bryce Kinney, driver of the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior.
And we'll be joined this hour with our pit reporters, Scott Jordan and Leslie Mears. And Bryce, when you think about 2018, as we get ready for 2019, what are some of the moments, the action, or just the locations and fans you've gotten to meet that really stand out in your mind?
Well, all of the innovation and evolution of this sport as a whole has been incredible. This has been the best year for Monster Jam yet. I can't wait to see what 2019 is going to bring. All of the stadiums, the arenas we're going to travel to. How do you fit all of that into one show? I'm not sure, but these highlights are incredible. So
you're going to see some of the new drivers from 2018, hear from some of our superstars' favorite moments, and see some of your favorite moments with that hashtag Monster Jam. When you think about the road to piloting your own Monster Jam truck, look none other than Brandon Vincent, who started off as a crew chief and now is the driver of the black and green wrecking machine.
There was a lot of pressure going into 2018, just being a new driver and being a new driver of Gravedigger. I think I am the first male driver to get a ride in Gravedigger as a rookie. So our fan base is like none other in the world, and it's definitely a challenge to come out there and perform on that level and go 100% for our fans each time, but I felt like I did a good job in 2018 being able to do that. Being a crew chief for Ryan Anderson of Son of a Digger for 9 years has helped me out tremendously. Just being able to watch him race the truck, freestyle the truck, interact with all of the Monster Jam fans, it has helped me tremendously. And, you know, after I'm done with the show, he'll call or text and we'll kind of go over what I did right, what I did wrong, and we make improvements. You know, he's there to help me like I was there helping him, you know, winning championships. You know, he has my back as just like I had his back there. So it's always awesome to get feedback from somebody like Ryan. When I won my first overall event championship, I was ecstatic. It was a big weight lifted off my shoulders. I've been trying to be a driver and athlete for so long, trying to get my foot in the door to do this, and it just felt amazing to win. You know, I could finally say, like, I belong here. You know, I can compete on this level with these other athletes, and it was a smile from ear to ear. I loved it.
Well, Jack Brown got to pilot Monster Mutt Rottweiler in 2018. He did a really great job. The fans loved him. He had a lot of highlights this season as well.
I felt going into the season really confident. After spending time at Monster Jam University, it got my head right and ready for the game. I was most nervous for interviewing in front of all these fans because it's such a big deal, and to see everybody out there, it's just basically mind intimidating. My biggest highlight of the season was winning my first speedster obstacle. It was incredible. To be able to get out there and beat all those competition trucks and speedsters, it was amazing.
For 2019, Austin Minton will be on Triple Threat Series West, but this year he got to make his debut in stadiums in Bounty Hunter.
Driving a 1,500 horsepower Monster Jam truck is unlike anything else. You get in there, you see all those bars, you get a little intimidated by the big tires, but as soon as you start going, adrenaline rush like no other. I would like to be known for leaving it all out on the track. Just coming in, putting the biggest smile on everyone's face, and not have to worry about a thing. In 2019, I hope to accomplish at least one event championship. I was on stadium tour last year, and I came pretty close, but never got it. This year, I want to get it.
Now, for Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior team, what was the biggest moment of 2018?
It had to be in Houston at NRG Stadium just a few weeks ago when we finally got to hold up that stadium overall event championship trophy at the end of the night. And to do that against some of the best drivers in the business, that's hard to do, and it was very special for our team.
I'll never forget it either. You didn't even know what was going on. You were so excited. And a lot of our superstars have had some pretty big moments in 2018. Let's get their thoughts on the season.
Honestly, this year for me was an amazing year. There's so many highlights that it's hard to pinpoint one. The two-wheel challenge that I did in California and Anaheim was so unreal. It was one of those things that all the stars aligned, and it just was perfect. And then backing that up with the World Finals Championship in freestyle, and the backflip to moonwalk move is something I chased for so long without telling anyone. I was practicing that move on the floor in front of everybody. Not once did I try it at any test facility, and I finally nailed it. And what better place to do it than at the Monster Jam World Finals? And honestly, I think that's the main reason why I brought home the championship.
My highlight from 2018 would be my freestyle in Rosemont, Illinois. I had Tom Mintz there watching me, and I went out there and gave it everything I had and laid it down. Right at the end, we had an awesome flip, and it came back on all four, and the crowd was going crazy. It was absolutely amazing feeling.
I would have to say my highlight this year was going out to the Monster Jam World Finals, and from my very first practice till every round I made to actually getting to my race was all within, I think, 0.2 of a second. And it just showed how consistent I was. Some of the other drivers were giving me a hard time, asking me if I was bracket racing out there. And, you know, my dad taught me a long time ago when I was a little girl that go out there, make your runs as consistent as you can and as fast as you can. And I have to say that this World Finals was probably my best one of my whole career.
My highlight of 2018 had to have been coming down to the last show and not knowing who was going to win the series championship. And a lot of awesome guys pulled together, got the truck back together because we broke early. They got that thing jammed back together so we could get out there and run and earn the points we needed to win the championship.
The biggest highlight of 2018 has to be my event championship win, first weekend out, New Orleans Superdome. I think I swept the whole event, hometown. I think I had 30 of my family members. I've been going to that show since I was literally in diapers, and that was just too sweet. Monster Energy was there for me. It was a great night.
One of the most memorable moments this year on tour had to be Nashville, Tennessee. I took home my first event championship of the actual tour, and it's a tough tour to win those championships on. We've got a lot of tough competition. All 8 athletes can win at any given moment. So anytime you can win and take home an event championship, that's a highlight in itself.
So in 2018, it's been a wild roller coaster ride. Probably the biggest thing that I can look back on was running hometown Arlington for Gas Monkey. All the Gas Monkey guys were there. We had a wild show, wild night. The crew worked all night long on that truck to keep it together. They did their job, and all I had to do was drive. So they made it easy for me. All the Gas Monkey people being there. It was just a great show. Everybody had a good time.
Monster Jam wouldn't exist without you, the fans. You make our experience incredible. Bryce, what are some of the moments from 2018 that stand out in your mind?
We were in Syracuse, New York. The Great Clip stylists were at the pit party, gelling people's hair up into mohawks and spraying them all these different colors. Their line filled up before my own autograph line. That was special. I got to come out and see a sea of mohawks across the entire stadium.
Our superstars love meeting you, so let's hear about some of their favorite fan moments from 2018.
Some of my favorite fan moments, there's so many that I can't even list off, but this year it sticks out would be my son. My son is the biggest Monster Jam fan that I know. He lives and breathes this stuff. And I've been able to bring him to a few shows, and he really enjoys it. And to be able to bring my son and watch him be so proud and love what I'm doing, and then grab him down and have him on the trophy, you know, for the picture afterwards is just a highlight, man. There's nothing tops that. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my little boy enjoy Monster Jam.
My favorite fan moment would have to be meeting my little buddy Brantley in Bridgeport. He's always been there for me. He's always sending me pictures and messages, and he's always my #1 little loco.
I would have to say my favorite fan moment of this season is getting to be at the Monster Jam World Finals with my Dalmatian Nation babies and having our fashion show. This year I think we had 92 on the main stage, and just getting that extra time with the Monster Jam fans and my Dalmatian Nation babies in the back, you know, putting together the lineup and all the kids that get to go together and all the little boys and girls coming up to me trying to show me their fancy, pretty little outfits that they made with their family has to be the absolute highlight of my whole career. Just getting to be with my people, having a good time, and getting to go out on the stage with them, it makes everything worthwhile.
My favorite fan in Monster Jam has got to be Brett. He's an awesome dude. He shows up at Monster Jam shows all over the place. I think I've seen him in West Lebanon this year. He was in Vegas and a couple other Monster Jam shows throughout the year, but he always shows up and he does interviews and records them, and then he posts them and emails them back and forth to me. Just a generally all-around awesome dude.
My favorite fan moment, the one that sticks out the most, my boy Dominic in Las Vegas. He's a huge fan of mine. He's been a huge fan of Bradshaw. He's a fan of LeDuc. He's made a cake every year in Las Vegas for myself, for Damon, for Todd, congratulating us on a great year, congratulating us on our performance in Vegas. That right there, man, that's what it's all about. Without those guys' support and love like that, we wouldn't do what we do each and every weekend.
One of my favorite fan moments has got to be whenever the fans come and meet me with their custom-made zombie signs. That's when I get to show, see their true talent, and they get to present that to me, and it's like, man, they took so much time and effort to put the work into doing something like that, which is customized, and they bring it to show me, and I get to sign it and autograph it. So anytime we get to interact like that with the fans, I love it.
So every year I always have a lot of kids come out, fans come out, we always have a great time. I've got a lot of little Make-A-Wish kids that always come hang out with me. My buddy Drew lives out in California, so that's another special place for us to be. He always hangs out with us. We got him his own fire suit this last year. It has all the truck logos on it. He loves for us to be there. That's one reason that we do this job is we love it. And the kids, I was that little kid a long time ago, and to see the smiles on their faces is the reason I do it.
Monster Jam is larger than life, but one of the bonuses about doing this is we get to meet some larger than life fans and their families and make an impact everywhere we go. We're going to go inside Monster Jam to meet some very special people next. Welcome to the 2018 Monster Jam highlight episode on FS1. I am Ryan Lacoste alongside Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce Kenny. We've met some of the new superstars from 2018 and shared some of our favorite moments. But what a lot of you fans don't get to see is some of the things that go on behind the scenes, like the work with the Ronald McDonald Charity House, Love Your Melon, Make-A-Wish, and more. Bryce, talk about some of your experiences being a little bit more vulnerable.
Well, it's amazing how many stories that we get from social media on families that are going through something really, really tough.
This actually hits home with me and my family as well, because my niece, at only 3 years old back in 2013, was admitted to the hospital, and I was in that hospital room when they found a softball-sized tumor sitting on top of her kidney. And I watched as my family fell apart, my sister-in-law fell apart, my little niece was required in that moment to become a warrior immediately. And that's something no 3-year-old should have to go through. Well, there's families all over the place that happen to love Monster Jam, and so our paths have crossed, and I want to get all of these warriors that are going through something, whether it was cancer or some other health element that they're fighting right now. I want to get them all together because kids deserve to be kids. And the things that these kids miss out on the most is just being kids. Making friends, being in kindergarten and finger painting with their buddies, or eating too much ice cream before dinner. And so we wanted to give them a little bit of a commercial break from their reality and come and have some fun together and make some new friends and make new memories. And that's what this Monster Jam community is all about.
And whether it's a neurotypical child, someone with a developmental disability, or someone fighting cancer, we are here for you Monster Jam fans to put a smile on your face when you're in the seats and when you're in places like the Ronald McDonald House. And one of our co-hosts this year on FS1 for Monster Jam, Camden Murphy, is now worldwide with the Ronald McDonald Charity House, making stops all across the U.S. and in Australia as well. And Camden Murphy, it's his goal to hit every Ronald McDonald House in the country and then around the world, and this guy is a rock star.
Well, and this is something he's done for years. Even before he found Monster Jam, Monster Jam found him. This has been a passion of his for a very long time. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his voice when he talks to these families. It means a lot to him.
So let's hear from Camden Murphy about his moments in 2018 at the Ronald McDonald Houses across the world.
I've been a part of the Ronald McDonald House Charity since Christmas morning of 2012. Been volunteering ever since, and it's awesome to come and travel to each city, and especially come out here and check out the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Spokane, Oregon, and Southwest Washington, Red River Valley, Denver, Central Valley. Checking another one off the list. Met so many more amazing families and kids. It's, again, so amazing to see what the Ronald McDonald House is able to do and provide a home away from home for so many incredibly strong families.
So he'll be stopping out at the Stadium Championship Series 1 next year to places like Anaheim, San Diego, Tampa, Indy, Arlington, and more. And you better believe he's going to be hitting up the Ronald McDonald's Charity Houses. And Love Your Melon, new to Monster Jam in 2018, an apparel brand dedicated to giving a hat to every child battling cancer and supporting the fight against pediatric cancer. You can get your hat when you buy your tickets for Monster Jam at monsterjam.com. These limited edition Monster Jam Love Your Melon beanies are awesome. And 50% of the net profits from all of the Love Your Melon products are given to Love Your Melon's nonprofit partners in the fight against pediatric cancer. And then Foxborough, Massachusetts, we got to meet one of the biggest Max D fans ever, Jonah, and he got this awesome wheelchair accessory.
Well, how cool would it be for Tom Mintz to be a part of this, to see his creation of Max D used in this way?
Pretty amazing, you know, the work that SolidWorks, Magic Wheelchair, Monster Jam, and besides all that, Jonah's enthusiasm for Max D, that's what makes it even more special for me.
So they strapped him in, and he took off, man.
Well, he's looking good in that Max D Monster Jam truck, and what an amazing opportunity for him to be able to tell his story through this. And you got to imagine all the people now that are going to see him in that Max D truck are going to want to understand where it came from, who built it. But Jonah is going to get to encourage other families that may have been hit hard by something as well, and give them encouragement. That's what makes the difference.
And every year before the Monster Jam World Finals kicks off with racing and freestyle, we get to hang out with Make-A-Wish fans from all around the world. Bryce, how cool is this?
It's so humbling for us to be a part of this, and hopefully make a kid's day. It keeps things in perspectives for us as drivers, but it's all about these Make-A-Wish kids.
Welcome back to the 2018 Monster Jam Highlight episode on FS1. I am Ryan Lacoste alongside Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce Kenny. Bryce, you're piloting your 12,000-pound machine. At what moment do you know you just became a highlight reel?
That moment when the fans erupt, when their cheers drown out that 1,500 horsepower engine behind me, you know something just went your way.
Last time I heard fans go nuts is when this guy finished up freestyle in Houston. So let's check out some of the best moments from 2018 Monster Jam. Now, Bryce, while you're not competing for these trophies at the Monster Jam World Finals, what's it like when you're nominated and receive a Rookie of the Year or a big moment of the year?
It means the world, because all of your hard work and your patience has paid off. And a guy like Tyler Menninga, who has been very patient over his career at learning new tricks and trying to master them, just like this nose wheelie that he's become so known for. I mean, this guy's been on TV and been on Sports Center and all sorts of stuff about how he's able to pull off this stuff in a 12,000-pound truck, and it's amazing for us as drivers to know that the fans are reacting positively to it.
He has definitely been one of the most viral Monster Jam superstars in 2018, and in 2019, you'll be able to see Tyler Menninga in the black and green wrecking machine doing this on the Triple Threat Series West, going against Colt Eichelberger in Max D, Bari Moose Sauer in Zombie, Caleb Blood and El Toro Loco, just to name a few. Get your tickets at monsterjam.com. And another guy who has burst onto the scene, Tristan England in Earthshaker.
I like this view because you can see his legs in there doing work. They drive, when they get it up on the nose like this, you're almost driving as much off of the brake as you do the throttle. You get the throttle up a little bit, you can hear his RPMs raising, and then he's kind of pedaling the brake pedal a little bit to decide, hey, do I want to bring the back end forward? Do I want to put it backwards a little bit more to keep it up in the air? And Tristan England has become just almost a master at doing this and walking it all the way up the pad, just like that.
You wonder if he's ever going to set it down sometimes. He'll be on Triple Threat Series East in 2019. Again, monsterjam.com is where you can get your tickets. And with these two-wheel skills competitions, whether it's Neil Elliott or Tom Mintz, Team Max D has run the show.
Well, this is where this move is beginning to evolve. You notice that Tom actually transition his whole direction with the truck with a little bit of aggressive throttle. This guy is the professor at Monster Jam University for a reason, and it is because he continues to innovate and evolve. I can't wait to see the future of that trick.
I'm still waiting for someone to park their Monster Jam truck in their stall doing that after they're done. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, the bicycle into the moonwalk. This is unbelievable.
I've called him the cheat code to the Monster Jam video game for a long time because of stuff like this. He's in such control. He goes from a bicycle to a moonwalk, back across a pad, and throws it back across the pad again, back on the nose, and he's holding it for such a long time. The fans are going nuts.
And he holds the highest record in the two-wheel skills challenge at judgezone.com with a 9.9. Catch Ryan on the Stadium Championship Series 1 in 2019. And here on the Speedway, it's all Max D with some insane cyclones.
It's one of my favorite events I've ever done up in West Lebanon, New York, and Neil Elliott delivered. The fans up there love donuts, and Neil knew that. He said, I'm going to do the best donut I can, and he did it.
Tony Oaks, Soldier Fortune Black Ops, ripping up some donuts. A big event championship for him earlier this year in Florida. You better believe he's going to be gunning for more in 2019. But he's going to have some big competition going up against the likes of Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger, Colton Eichelberger and Max D. But as a veteran of our country and now a veteran of the sport, you better look out for Tony Oaks.
Well, he does this freestyle in first gear, which gives him a lot of torque, a lot of momentum in an arena this size, and has paid off for Tony as he's continued to gain bigger and bigger air and more control. Look at the momentum, look at the speed, but the air that he's getting off of hits, just like that 8-pack right there, he's getting a really good look at that Jumbotron.
So when you get some big moments in 2019 on your phone, camera, picture, videos, use that hashtag Monster Jam, because we want the world to see how awesome Tony Oaks and all of our Monster Jam superstars are, and you better believe he is going to be chasing the top spot of Triple Threat Series West. He wants to skip next year's Double Down Showdown in Orlando, the Monster Jam World Finals 20, and he wants to go right into the main field to compete for his first ever World Finals Racing and Freestyle Championship. Watch out for Soldier Fortune Black Ops. And in Monster Jam, women compete on the same stage for the same championships, and here to talk about her year in Monster Jam is Kristen Anderson, driver of Gravedigger.
I remember in the Tacoma, Washington, Friday night freestyle, I had a really rough first half of the show. Once freestyle started creeping closer near the end of the show, I just remember just being so anxious about it, thinking about that big floor. What am I going to do? Because one of my biggest fears about being on a big stadium floor or a big arena floor is getting lost out there. I was anxious as ever, and I'm just thinking, all right, we're going to start it out like we always do. We're going to pull up to the race lane, we're going to hit one of the jumps in the middle. It's a safe hit, you're used to it, and then after that, who knows what's going to happen. It's just all kind of like an adrenaline blur. Like, I just remember hitting things left and right. I remember specifically going through my mind the entire time, what would Dad do? What would Dad do? Dad would come out here and he would tear it up. He would hit everything. He would hit it sideways, front ways, straight, crooked. He would hit it any way and every way he could just to put on a good show for everybody. So that's what I did. And I remember being in the middle of my run thinking, I didn't even know I had it in me. I was having so much fun out there. I wasn't worried about anything. I was having a blast, and I didn't even know that I had that in me. I felt like I was really channeling my inner Dennis Anderson out there.
And make sure to watch out for her on the Triple Threat Series East in 2019. The 2018 Extreme Air Award goes to Corey Rummel in Rage, who would also go on to win our Double Down Showdown this year.
Well, think about that moment right before he hit that jump. And in his mind, he's thinking, I hope this works out. That's about as best as you can get, because Corey launched that machine.
And someone else who is known for big air is Todd LeDuc, whether he's in Monster Energy or the Mutant Super Soda Monster Jam truck. When he pulls onto the floor, you better be ready for one of the most exciting freestyles of any night.
Well, he always has really good control in the air, and that's what I've always been impressed about Todd. But this guy looks a little familiar to me. This was in Atlanta, and I remember hitting the jump, and the truck kind of took a weird turn on me, started flipping, and thankfully I was able to bring it around on all fours.
So I think two of the top 5 for next year's Save of the Year is going to be Bryce Kenny and Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger in true Anderson fashion on the ragged edge and back on all 4 BKT tires. And this is one of my favorite moments from 2018 right here. Morgan Kane, unbelievable in Indianapolis, throws it in reverse, sets it back on all 4 BKT tires. The place goes nuts. And Todd LeDuc had a wow factor too this year.
That 360 was insane. I remember bouncing up on 2 wheels and keeping it on 2 wheels until I spiked that jump. It spun around, and when I was still on all 4 wheels and still moving, I was like, wow.
And 2018 featured its fair share of crashes. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger going for a wild ride.
And it was win at all costs for Adam when he came up to the line against Todd LeDuc in that Monster Energy machine. But Shane England and Big Kahuna had this eye-opening hit where the truck essentially looks like it broke in half.
Oh, welcome back to the larger-than-life sport that always leaves you entertained, Monster Jam, in the 2018 highlight episode on FS1. I am Ryan Lacoste, alongside Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce Kenny. Bryce, for fans who might be coming to Monster Jam for their first time ever in 2019, what can they expect in our freestyle competition?
Well, freestyle is the crowning jewel of Monster Jam, and the fans want to see big air. They want to see maybe some donuts thrown in, maybe a few backflips as well, but they're looking for that wow moment. Maybe it's a crazy save or a move that's never been been done before. That's when the fans will get out of their seat and they won't sit back down.
And Monster Jam is the only sport where you pick the winners, especially in every freestyle competition across the globe. So right now, let's check out the biggest moments in stadium freestyle. So Bryce, when you think about it, how crazy is it that every fan at every Monster Jam event can go to judgeszone.com and score your two-wheel skills run or your freestyle run?
Well, the drivers love it because we get a really good sense of the entire stadium and whether they're having fun or not, whether they responded well or not to our specific run. And the master at winning the fans over is Adam Anderson. This guy has really made me become that much more of a Monster Jam fan because of the way he drives this truck. You see the Gravedigger door swinging wide open, and he is relentless from the very first moment that he steps out there on the track and hits that throttle.
Adam Anderson is absolutely hilarious, and when it comes to the pit party, one of the most genuine people, and the entire Anderson family, some of the most genuine people in Monster Jam you're going to meet. And then you get to see him burn it down on the track in the black and green wrecking machine. It is like no other experience. You would think his dad, Dennis Anderson, is driving that Monster Jam truck.
Well, and in true Dennis Anderson fashion, gives a little love tap there to Tom Mintz and Max D. But Adam, his big air and his momentum that he is able to create out of these 12,000-pound machines is astonishing to me. I learn a ton from watching his runs. And one of the things, that the massive, huge transfer jump like that, it's on the edge of out of control. Adam Anderson wrote the book on controlled chaos.
And we almost saw him do a front flip this year in October, not too long ago, in Glendale, Arizona. If you want to see Adam Anderson in action in 2019, get your tickets at monsterjam.com. Look up Stadium Championship Series 2, and if you'd love to meet him, you got to get your pit passes too.
Well, and he had so much fun hitting that transfer the first time. He hits it a second time. Huge roll, brings it back down on all fours. That is composure. That is awesome, and that is something that the sport loves to see.
And you could hear the fans roaring right after that, too. That's what's so awesome about Monster Jam is you get that immediate gratification from the fans. They'll let you know if they weren't pleased with that freestyle, and they'll let you know if they absolutely loved every second of what they just saw.
Well, fans don't believe us drivers when we say we can hear you over the roar of that 1,500 horsepower machine. We can hear you. If you're having fun, that makes us drive that much harder.
Lines up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp, nails it, and in true Gravedigger fashion, this place erupts. And then Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, at another event. Everywhere we've gone with him this year, it has just been unreal how loud these fans cheer.
Well, after I get out of my Great Clips Mohawk Warrior machine, I go sit in the stands, and Ryan Anderson is up next. I get these goosebumps because I know something's going to happen. Something memorable is going to happen. And the thing about Ryan's freestyles and being on that ragged edge is his throttle. And if you're going to study how these trucks operate, how they move, and how to put on a good freestyle, you've got to listen to the throttle control. And really, he doesn't seem like he lets off of the throttle the entire run. He's keeping really good momentum the entire time.
And this year was the year that Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, clinched his first ever World Finals Freestyle Championship, which he'll have to defend May 10th and 11th, Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Monster Jam World Finals 20, where more World Finals champions are going to be crowned than ever before. Plus, how they're going to start racing up high, and you're gonna be able to see the crowd from up above them for the first time.
That's gonna be such a unique experience and such a unique vantage point for us as drivers. And Ryan Anderson in all of these freestyles, that's what I think is really cool. Is think about the vantage points that he's had doing all these crazy stunts that he's pulled off.
Here he is lining up for that jammer, taking the huge hit here in Philly, flying across the track. Ryan Anderson and son of a digger, after he clinched that World Finals Championship, seemed to be pretty much unstoppable, claiming just about every event championship from World Finals up until right now.
He's so difficult to beat because he knows what the fans want to see. And even right here at the very end, look at that massive air at the end, landing on the crush cars, keeping the truck together, and he's on to the next hit. That's what the fans want. A lot of hits, a lot of variety, and just this controlled chaos that can't be found anywhere else other than Monster Jam.
So will Ryan Anderson be able to clinch a second World Finals Freestyle Championship? You'll have to get your tickets at monsterjam.com and look for him on Stadium Championship Series 1, hitting that Monster Energy backflip ramp, connecting, and he'll be going up against the likes of Morgan Kane and Gravedigger, Jimmy Cretin and Bounty Hunter, and other World Finals champions like Jim Kohler and Avenger. I mean, this is how you end a freestyle if you're son of a digger.
Well, Ryan knows how to leave that memory with every fan that leaves that stadium that night. But another guy that I had the pleasure of running against was Neil Elliott and Max D all year long, and this guy knows how to start off big from the very beginning and be on that edge of being out of control the entire time.
Your Stadium Championship Series 1 champion would get that invite to the Monster Jam World Finals 19. Unfortunately, didn't go on to win his first World Finals championship, but this was a phenomenal year for Neil Elliott, who next year will be on Stadium Championship Series 2 competing against Adam Anderson and Gravedigger again. Plus, he'll have his wife, Candace Jolly, and Monster Mutt Dalmatian on the road with him, too.
One of the things I really like watching about Neil's runs and why they're so good is watch how he's able to stay in control when the truck lands. And he very rarely lands it just completely clean. It's usually upset at some point, and the truck just absorbs it, and he knows how to drive out of those situations. He probably, I don't know the stat on it, but I'd be curious to see how many runs Neil Elliott fills the entire clock on 120 seconds, because I bet it's a lot, and he does a really great job of doing his part in keeping that Max D Monster Jam truck together.
If you ever go to a Monster Jam and you see a Max D Monster Jam truck finish freestyle with the body still on, tell him to go back out there and do it again, because he didn't do it right. Neil Elliott and Max D was on a rail this year, and congratulations to him and the team for clinching that Stadium Championship Series championship again this year.
Well, you saw him shred the body on that backflip, and for the fans, they get a good, clean look at how these Monster Jam trucks operate. You can see the motor in the back, you can see the fuel tank in the back, but Neil Elliott's just saying, hey, that's less weight on this thing. I can go a little bit higher, I can go a little bit faster now.
Well, and the pressure, too, this season, competing against Todd LeDuc in Mutant again, Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, plus you in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. This lineup was unbelievable. So kudos to Neil Elliott, Max D for being not only the first person to ever win one of these stadium championships, but doing it again this year.
And being able to launch it, that air that he just got was massive. Was absolutely huge, and for him to pull that off is special. The fans are going to remember that one.
So a big year for Team Max D. Will 2019 be just as big? Get your tickets at monsterjam.com. Welcome back to the 2018 Monster Jam highlight episode on FS1. I'm Ryan Lacoste alongside Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce Kenny. The technology that goes into these Monster Jam trucks and the hard work of our crew chiefs and technicians allows drivers like you to perform at your best. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, the innovation and evolution of the sport is in direct relation to our ability to change the game, and that's what Monster Jam tries to do.
And it's because of that hard work that you get to see some amazing shows. So let's check in with some of our crew chiefs and technicians to find out how these Monster Jam trucks tick.
Who's ready for America's best contacts and eyeglasses look-in?
So this is where it all begins. As you can see on the floor, this is our Monster Jam chassis kit. We put onto our chassis table and we'll build the complete top half of the chassis. Every tab, every weld will be completed. From the top half, we'll transfer it over to the other side of our shop where the complete bottom half will be done. With the cradle, the 4-link tabs, and everything completely welded. There's approximately 800 feet of tubing in a Monster Jam chassis. 44 pounds of welding wire is used per chassis, which equals out to about 2.5 miles of welding. The completed chassis weighs around 1,900 pounds and takes about 90 hours to complete.
And one of the new technologies in 2018 for Monster Jam, the electronic fuel injection system. Let's check in with Scott Jordan for more on that.
Over the last few years, our engine specialists have been working very hard to bring our engine technology into the 21st century. And what that means is outfitting our Monster Jam trucks with electronic fuel injection systems, just like the one here in Caleb Blood's El Toro Loco. As you can see right here, this is an O2 sensor. It's going to send information, which is fuel to air ratio, up into a computer behind the driver's seat. That's going to send that information to a screen to the right of Caleb Blood's steering wheel inside El Toro Loco. The goal is to get all of our Monster Jam trucks fitted with this electronic fuel injection system beginning in the fall. So anytime one of these trucks has to come in for some major maintenance, the teams are going to work very hard in getting this system in each one of our trucks. Always making changes, always trying to keep up with the technology, always bringing you the best action here at Monster Jam.
Well, the shocks on these Monster Jam machines is the reason we can get the big air and do the crazy stunts, and Cody Saucier is the expert in suspension.
What's going on, guys? I'm Cody Saucier. I'm the driver of the Monster Energy Monster Jam truck. It's a pretty cool fact about my particular truck. It was the very first Monster Jam truck that we assembled here at the Feld headquarters way back in December of 2013. I'm still driving it. I take a lot of pride in that thing, probably more so than my own pickup truck I drive up and down the road every day. But I'm joined here by my boy John Fitchett, one of our league technicians here at Feld. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about shocks on our Monster Jam trucks. Compared to your everyday car, truck, motorcycle, minivan, scooter, whatever you do drive, shocks look something like this. Not very impressive, man. Compared to our Monster Jam truck shocks, these things are awesome. They're tough. 26 inches of travel in the front, 30 inches of travel in the rear. These two shocks are built for demonstration purposes. They're cut out. This one's made of acrylic. How these things operate is the smaller chamber of the two houses the dividing piston of the shock. What the dividing piston does is it's set to a set depth to allow a specific amount of hydraulic oil to be filled in the shock. The other half is filled with a set amount of nitrogen pressure. What the nitrogen pressure is, that's basically our spring, our cushion. You can see it operating here. This will be set at the set depth, the cycle of the shock. Over 30 completely custom machined and custom built parts make up one single Monster Jam truck shock. FK rod ends supply the connection to the chassis, to the housing. Hercules supplies our seals in and out. Energy suspension provides us drivers with a last-minute effort to cushion a huge stunt. These little guys are our friends right here. Without them, you definitely feel it. This is a piston that controls the compression and the rebound, basically the flow, the cycle of the shock. You can change the shims in them depending on the track conditions, the driver preference. As a driver, I'm looking for these things to do their job so I can do my job safely. Consistency, weight transfer, all this is all confidence for me to put on a performance that's controlled, that's safe, right there on the ragged edge. At an event, I'm in constant contact with my crew. It may be John here, and we can talk. 95% of the time, when you see those guys wearing the headsets, 95% of the time, we're chatting about suspension. That's what makes or breaks the performance of the truck, the performance of the show. The combination of these shocks, the containment seats, the chassis that Tanner and Mike that they're built for us, I wouldn't be able to do what I do week in and week out and get up Monday morning and go right back to work. This stuff is awesome, and we appreciate you guys giving us a chance to do what we do.
And the most unique addition to 2018, the introduction of the first ever diesel-powered Monster Jam truck, Brodozer. Here's Leslie Mears with more.
What makes the Brodozer unique is the advanced diesel technology that went into the creation of its power plant. It started off with a stock 6.6-liter Duramax block. High-performance rods and pistons were added for internal durability. To ensure that it got enough fuel, 2 fuel pumps and 200% injectors were added. And of course, if you're going to have all that fuel, you've got to have lots of air to create horsepower. And that's where the compound turbo system comes in. The top turbocharger will feed into the bottom turbocharger. And then that will force air through an intercooling system where it's going to cool down by a couple hundred degrees before it goes into the engine to create 1,400 horsepower. Now, your standard road grade Duramax, only going to be 445 horsepower out the gate. Even though it's creating all that horsepower, it's still burning only 20% of the fuel that our methanol trucks are. And if you need to top this bad boy off, just head to any standard grade diesel pump across the nation and give it a little drink.
Welcome back to Monster Jam on FS1 in the 2018 highlight episode. I'm Ryan Lacoste alongside Great Clips Mohawk Warrior driver Bryce Kenny. 2018 has been phenomenal, but 2019 is going to be insane with new trucks, a new World Finals location, and the introduction of the All-Star Challenge. For 2019, plenty of new locations, including Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Triple Threat Central Tour will be battling it out for the event championship, plus Omaha, Nebraska. Can't wait to check that out.
It's always fun giving new Monster Jam fans that first Monster Jam experience.
And Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Get your tickets at monsterjam.com to be a part of every event. And new for 2019, Fire and Ice.
Which one's your favorite, Ryan?
I gotta go with the Zombie Fire, although the Max D Fire looks cool. But here, watch this. Bam! That's awesome.
My very favorite fire truck right now is Megalodon. This truck looks so good to me, and I don't know if it's just because a shark shouldn't have flames on it, but I cannot wait to see that in person.
So those are the Fire Monster Jam trucks. Now the Ice Monster Jam trucks include Cynthia Gautier's Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Boom, look at that.
Well, Scott Buteau is going to be in the Ice El Toro Loco. I know he's ready to get that thing midair and see what happens.
Not to play favorites, though, my favorite Ice Monster Jam truck, John Zimmer's Dragon from green to blue. That thing is bad.
Will it still be able to spit fire? That's my one question.
You'll have to get your tickets at monsterjam.com to find out. And this is how our Stadium Championship Series will play out. 14 points will be awarded to the winner of our racing, two-wheel skills, and freestyle competitions. Whoever has the most points at the end of the night will be crowned our event champion, and whoever has the most points at the end of the season will get an automatic invite to the Monster Jam World Finals 20 in Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets at monsterjam.com.
And for the Triple Threat Series, there's going to be a total of 8 points up for grabs across 6 different competitions they'll be competing in across 3 different vehicles, the Monster Jam trucks, the Monster Jam ATVs, and those Monster Jam Speedsters. It's always such a fun show, but this is a very competitive series.
And you get to be a part of every Monster Jam event at judgeszone.com. In our donut, two-wheel skills, and freestyle competitions, you pick our winner. No other sport on the planet allows you, the fans, to be this interactive with every competition. So get your tickets at monsterjam.com. Be a part of the action, and don't miss the first ever Monster Jam World Finals in 2019 in Orlando, Florida.
The thing I'm most excited about is the elevated starting lines. All the people in Florida, they love big trucks, they love Monster Jam, and they love to have a good time.
Families can get together, have a good time, share these experiences that will last a lifetime.
Get your tickets for the Monster Jam World Finals 20 at monsterjam.com. And when you get your tickets for 2019 shows, make sure to get your VIP upgrade to get even more interactive with every Monster Jam event you attend.
Well, this is so much fun for us as drivers, too, to watch the fans be in this type of environment to make those types of memories that they'll never forget. Imagine the likes that they're all getting on their Instagram pages, getting that type of content. That's unique.
You can do a track walk. You can ride in the Gravedigger Ride Truck in intermission and meet the superstars after the show. And one of the things our fans are talking about, the new track for 2019. Bryce, what are your thoughts on this, having been a part of it a couple times now?
I love this track because it allows for you to take the corners with a little bit more speed. You can kind of drift those final corners rather than having to kind of carry a certain amount of drifting around a wider turn like we did with that Chicago style. So this new style, it actually kind of adapts more to my driving style anyway, so I'm in love.
And Bryce, the first ever Monster Jam All-Star Challenge, 24 competitors split into 2 teams. How exciting is this?
This is fun because the fans are able to see the very best in the sport duke it out. Make sure you're following Monster Jam on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You're going to want to get it.
2018 has been absolutely incredible thanks to you, the fans. And Bryce, is there anything you'd love to say before we get ready for 2019?
Well, come and follow the story on Instagram at WarriorBryce, monsterjam.com. Be a part of this movement with us.
Find him on Stadium Championship Series 2 and get your tickets to be a part of the 2019 action at monsterjam.com.